Well, hey folks, welcome back to Good Enough Customs. So last week, where did we leave off? We left off with this guy. This is the 69 C10 that I drug home last week. Sat in a field or a tree row for like 30 something years, since the 80s basically, maybe 40 years. I can't math right now. Yeah, that would be almost 40 years. Damn, that thing's been sitting a minute. But anyways, so I went and drug this guy home. Last week we went through, got the passenger door open, vacuumed this thing out, cleaned it up a little bit, got this thing off the trailer, put these wheels on there. That was a little bit of an adventure, I will admit. Then went through off camera, or part of the camera, I think I cleaned up some of this stuff, but off camera went through and cleaned up the toolbox and the utility bed, trying to get that stuff picked up and cleaned up. Still, I've been out here 4 or 5 times this week, coming out, oiling this stuff down, and it doesn't even budge. I really hosed it down again last night, so I may end up having to do some surgery here. This guy, still absolutely nothing going on here on this guy, so I'm curious what's in there. I can kind of see parts of what's in here, and realistically I could go ahead and break this glass out and go ahead and pull what's in there, but I don't want to break that glass out just yet. I don't know if I showed actually what was going on in the very back of this truck. It's a pretty cool, pretty neat little layout. I know I vacuumed up a lot of mouse crap, mouse houses, and a lot of rust came out of the back of this guy. So so you can kind of see, I'm not going to open up this door since it doesn't have that one hinge over here. If I pull that pin and open, it's just going to fall out, and it's a pain in the butt to get lined back up and put back in there. But you can kind of see, you know, the floors definitely seen better days. You know, we got a few speed holes up there. You know, we got drawers. Apparently there's supposed to be a drawer here, I guess in a bigger drawer. Obviously that's not there. But I don't know if I showed these drawers. Look at how freaking long and deep these things are. I mean, good gravy. I mean, there's my forearm. Still got all that. So yeah, she got some drawers on. So I did find this little Philco AM radio, which is kind of neat. Found this is just a little condenser from Ignition Parts. World Parts, auto parts for imports. For imports? The hell? But this is out of Nashville, Tennessee. But looking at the logo on that, that's probably a 70s, 80s. Also found this really neat little trial pack of WD-40. So I'm curious what that formula is versus the new formula. I'm guessing this formula is a hell of a lot better. You know, government regulations on some things is okay, but most of the time it ends up just screwing everything up. So you know, that's probably got some sort of crazy caustic acid or some shit in it that really does a number. Really works well, and now it won't. But anyways, let's see. Oh, another piece of a mouse house just fell out. So I didn't really find much back here. I found this piece of grounding rod, which I don't know, she's about 4 foot long. So that's how deep that section is right there. It's 3.5, 4 foot long. Did find this keyhole saw that has been gnawed on a little bit by some mice and rats. Some little concrete anchors, and then this little cable keeper. I'm guessing either for going into studs or on poles. And then we have in the very back of this drawer, there's just a ton of these little cards that slide down in here. Yeah, they slide down in here to you know, do the thing, partition. So got a whole mess of those guys. Also, yeah, did find this, which looks to be an antenna, probably off of this guy. You know, there's a hole in the fender where the antenna used to be, I suppose. So yeah, there's that door. One thing we did learn last week is the motor's locked up. She no move. So what I've been doing off and on throughout the week, and primarily yesterday, got out here, and you can see my little funnel with a piece of fuel hose on it. Came out here and poured a combination that's like a 50, maybe a 70-30 mixture of Marvel Mystery Oil and some lacquer thinner down in each one of the cylinders. Also shot whatever penetrant I had, because I was, to be honest, I'm pretty much out of everything. So I didn't have a whole lot left, and went through and squirted every single one of the holes. Try to get as much down in there as possible. I think the only one I really wasn't able to get would have been number 5. Yeah, number 5, because I got the steering in the way and got part of the manifold in the way, and the brake lines. You know, it's hard to get a can that can only spray in one direction down in here, and yeah, it just wasn't happening. So I might be able to get that one here in a minute. I did go back and pick up a whole mess of penetrant. I got some more Freon, because that stuff's just awesome. I got some more PB Blaster, and of course the token WD-40. So I've got fresh stuff all ready to go. Maybe we'll go out there and give it a couple squirts with some of the new stuff. Every little bit helps, I suppose. Then let's see if I can't figure out a better way to get that crank turning instead of using the bolt. That makes me a little bit nervous, having that bolt on there, because yeah, I really don't want to just, you know, twist the head right off of that damn thing. It's only a 5/8 head, so she ain't gonna be that big a bolt. I don't remember what size it is actually down inside the crank, but yeah, let's see if we can figure something else out. And while we're figuring that out, we'll see if we can't get some more yeah, let's use the good old PB Blaster. This is that stuff that you can adjust how much is coming out or whatever. So we'll squirt some more of this and see if we can't figure out something on that crank. Be right back. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can't actually get to number 3. Oh, looky right there. Okay, what's going on here? Let's just, there we go. I'm just gonna fill that turkey up. It's running out like crazy now. All right, what about, it won't hurt to go ahead and top them all off, I don't suppose. All right, now let's try this side. Let's get just a little bit more down in these. Every little bit will help. So those guys are all full-ish. They got more in them than they used to. So I guess what I'm gonna do is I guess we're gonna pull this front pulley off. So we'll pull the pulley off right here. And we'll use it as a template. And I can get a piece of steel. I think I got something big enough to go over that. And I don't know. I'll have to look and double check. But I think I got something big enough to where I can make a thing that bolts up there using these holes as reference, and then cut the center out and maybe weld just an old, socket on there or something. I don't know. Let's see what we can figure out, and then we'll come back to it. But I'm not 100% sure, but I might have a piece of metal big enough for that. If I don't, maybe we'll go up underneath it with a pry bar and just turn on the flex plate. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let me get in here and hunt. I'll be right back. All right, so up underneath here, figure maybe we can get some prying done on the flex plate. So I got a pry bar. These lines are probably gonna get in the way, but like this line, I don't know what in the hell that goes to. I saw 3 sticking out up front and I couldn't quite figure it out. So it looks like I've got an additional cooler line that used to be used and is no longer something, I don't know. So we're just gonna kind of work between. I've heard you don't want to do this off the starter, but I don't plan on pulling real tight on this side. So we'll just see if we can't get a bite on anything. If we can't get a bite on anything, we'll move to the other side and give it a shot over there. Yeah, she's tight. All right, I'm gonna go this other side. See if we can't get anything going there. I can get it to wiggle, but I'm literally watching everything flex. I don't know if y'all guys can see that or not. Yeah, we'll try the other side and see if we can't do something there, and it may just take some back and forth, back and forth. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I couldn't find a piece of metal big enough to cover the 3 bolt holes and all that fun stuff for the front. So, or at least a piece of metal thick enough that could do all that. So, let me climb out from under here and go to the other side. And of course, this side now I got the exhaust to deal with. And the frame. Oh, I bet we got mice up on top. Mouse house. Well, I don't know if I slipped off or broke a tooth. No, just slipped. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have one of those nice flex plate tools. Yeah, I think she just froze up. Well, I tell you what, since I'm literally getting nothing but just a little flex back and forth, I could spend all day under here cranking on that damn thing and getting nowhere. So let me go back up top. I'm gonna pull the valve covers off, and we'll take a look at the valve covers, see what that looks like up underneath. As if that valve train's just, you know, rusty as hell, then we know we got bigger problems. Worst case, maybe we'll pull the heads off or something. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, let me reposition up top, and we'll be right back. Driver's side looks all right. Well, this side looks all right too. Well, she don't look too bad. Top end wise, I mean, a little thin on all up here, but it ain't rusty. Looks better than the big block did when I pulled it down. And that don't look too bad. I was totally expecting to see like hung up, you know, just rusted up solid top end, but she ain't rusted up. So I don't know how much further we ought to go with this. I really don't want to pull the exhaust manifolds off because, you know, those are a pain in the butt. I don't know. Let's I don't know. Let me think about this. I'll be back. All right. So I had an idea that might just work. So give me a couple minutes here and we'll see how this pans out. Where did my socket go? I just remembered that I had this off the big block. And since it's beat all to hell, and I'm more than likely not going to use it, why can't I use this? So I just want to test fit, make sure. I'm pretty sure it should bolt up, but to be honest, I can't freaking remember. I know there's a lot of... I know that GM is really, really good about universal parts. So parts that fit across multiple engines and platforms. So we'll just verify this. Make sure I can get all 3 bolts to go back in. And as long as I can, we'll just use this guy to try and turn the motor over. Yeah. Yeah, that ought to work. Cool. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go back inside and modify this thing. Since this pulley's all beat to hell anyhow. Apparently when they were pulling the motor out of the motorhome, they dropped it and, you know, killed that corner of it. So, yeah, let's go see what we can do here. All right, first things first, I got to knock this lip down. This lip is not going to let it seat all the way down on that balancer. So that way, you know, try to get as much contact as I possibly can. So we're just going to grind this down. It's got a little flap disc. We'll knock her down real fast, and then we'll move on from there. All right, next thing we're gonna do is, I really don't want to use this piece because this piece is just, I need something with some more meat. I guess I could cut a piece to go in between. If y'all guys can see, cut a piece that goes in between here so I can weld it on this bigger piece instead of trying to catch just that little lip. So let me see what I got for metal. I know I got some straps somewhere. I found this. I've got it laying around. That should be good enough, I suppose. So let's figure out what we need for length. It looks like right at 7 inches. I'd help if I had something to mark with. Seven inches. Freaking money. Yeah, that works. Cool. Just gotta clean up inside here and go on about our business. My old Hitachi grinder bit the dust, so bought a nice little DeWalt. Oh yeah, got some torque. That is a torquey little fella. Trying to figure out a placement I can go with that allows me to still get to all my bolt holes. I got a little more grinding to do. All right, now we got 3/4 inch nut welded on there. Ain't the prettiest, but it ought to hold. So we just gotta let that cool off a little bit, and then we can bolt her up. All right, so got her all installed. I got my my nut. That is a 15/16 size. I got her all bolted up. Everything should be good to go. So I got my handy dandy breaker bar ready to go. And let's see if we can't walk it back and forth a little bit. Maybe we can get something, maybe we don't. We'll see. Boy, she's on there. Let's see if we can't roll it back a little bit. Oh. She ain't budging one way or another. All right, let's get this ratchet on here. And my trampoline pole. Whew. I'm gonna say this bitch is locked. Holy shit. Good Lord have mercy. That is about all I got in that thing. And she ain't budging. Get a better bite with this guy, but my angles are a little different. Not that I'm expecting anything, but you never know. So, I don't believe that thing's going to turn. I am giving it everything I got, and she ain't budged. Luckily, the timing mark is set right on the edge of this timing cover, and it hadn't budged one way or the other. It's still just exactly where it was. So, yeah. Well, That motor is stuck tighter than a tick on a hound dog's ass. That thing is stuck. I don't believe she's going to roll over without some sort of internal intervention. You know, pulling the heads off, seeing what's actually going on inside the combustion chamber. I mean, we pulled the valve covers underneath. Everything looks great. It's either they're really stuck on the rings, or maybe there's a mechanical failure in there. Who knows the reason why it was actually parked. But yeah, so not that big a deal. You know, like I said, I'm not keeping that motor. It was just kind of one of those. I had a short day today. I was like, let's see if we can't get it to roll over. If we can get it to roll over, then you know, maybe fiddle with it and get it running. It'd be kind of cool, you know, just be able to kind of take it as it is and just, you know, drive it with some minimal money invested in that guy. I believe I have another intake actually right up there. I think it's a Holly intake or something like that. It might be Crooks intake, but it's sitting on my shelf long enough that I don't think I'll mind if I borrowed it for a little while. But anyhow, yeah, so that's not happening. But you know, we did discover that thing is just, wow, she's tight. So originally for this week, I had intended on doing like coverage of the Redneck Rumble, the fall Redneck Rumble, which is up in Lebanon, Tennessee. It was actually Friday and Saturday, yesterday and the day before. The weather was just garbage, so it was raining off and on the whole time. It really, I was expecting more, but that may be because it was the fall one. I would assume the spring Redneck Rumble. It's a huge swap meet, in case you don't know about it. It's a ginormous swap meet, tons of pieces and parts, a lot of rat rods, a lot of hot rods, just a lot of cool stuff. I did take some coverage of it, but the issue I kept running into was people just kept getting in the dang way. And I understand everybody's trying to look, everybody's trying to watch and, you know, see everything and do all that, but man, it was on a whole nother level out there. It felt like every time I had the camera running, I had somebody cut me off with a golf cart or some other contraption that used to be a lawnmower or a tiller or all sorts of weird stuff. But it was slightly chaotic out there. But I did enjoy the time out there. The only thing I really found, I was looking for a bunch of different things. The only thing I really found was just by happenstance. I wasn't even looking for it, but I found a headlight bucket for the military truck for the driver's side, or I say the bucket. It's actually the trim piece. It's broke on the truck, and I was like, man, I really don't want to buy a pair if I ain't got to. And just so happened, a guy had a single driver's side one sitting there, so went ahead and picked that up pretty cheap. So that worked out. But yeah, I did enjoy it out there. It was a ton of walking. There are booths and tables and stuff everywhere. It's a pretty good time. I've had some buddies go out there to the spring one, and they were able to buy some good pieces and parts at pretty good prices. So I'm guessing, you know, this is getting towards the end of car show season and swap meet season. So maybe they're running a little thin on their inventory, and then come back around springtime, they've been accumulating some pieces and parts over the winter, and springtime's the time to go. So we'll check it out come springtime, and maybe it'll be a little bit better, and I can find some other pieces and parts that I'm kind of hunting for the for the Pontiac, for the 69, and then my dad's bought a 39 Pontiac coupe that he's hunting for a few pieces and parts for on it. So we're just kind of looking for different pieces and parts here and there. So we'll check it out again in the spring. But you know, like I said, kind of a short weekend. You know, I had a little short time today, so I figured, hey, I can at least get something done. You know, answer that question: is that motor going to break loose? That answer is definitely not just no, but hell no. So that motor's, you know, pretty well garbage at this point. But if I had some room in the shop, I'd probably go ahead and pull the motor, tear it down, and just, you know, curiosity's sake, figure out what exactly is going on there. But yeah, we're kind of full up. The corner of shame is not quite as bad as it has been in the past, but she's she's got a few residents living over there. So so as long as nothing pulls me away from it next week, I had a part that I forgot to order for the big block. It's the main reason why we're not working on the big block this weekend. And I kind of need that part to move forward. So once I get that piece and part in, then we can get back over there on the big block and get that guy put together. And so that's what I'm planning on doing next weekend, is trying to finish out the big block. So let's see, what else do I have left on that guy? I do have to pull the pan back off. I went ahead and installed the pan and the timing cover. Those are kind of, whatever. But I got to pull the pan back off because when I was putting the pan on, I noticed there's a definite tone change right where I put the pickup. So I'm like, I measured and remeasured and quadruple measured. It should be clear. But I think it's sitting flush up against the friggin' bottom of the pan. So I'll have to pull that apart and monkey with that. And we'll take a look at that next week and see if we can't figure out what's going on there. And then finish putting, let's see, what else we got left to do there? We got to put the intake on. I got to trim up the headers so they'll actually clear the lower head bolts. So I got the water pump, I got the fuel pump, distributor. We got a bunch of pieces and parts that we can put on that guy. So we'll see about getting that done next weekend. Hopefully and what I'm waiting on is that thing had an oil cooler on it. So I'm not going to run an oil cooler. So I just need to get the adapter to convert it to just a spin-on filter. So I ordered one, but it wasn't the right one for some reason. I could have swore I double-checked that, but it wasn't right. So I got to order another one, get that one in, but I'm going to probably get it through Jigs. So it'll only take a day or two to get here. But so I'll get that ordered, and hopefully we'll get cracking on that guy next weekend. So anyways, hope y'all guys had a good week. I do appreciate y'all watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down there and, catch up on everything that we've been doing here. So anyhow, I guess that'll do it. So we'll see y'all guys next week. And just remember, folks, it ain't got to be perfect. It's just good enough. That'll do. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good one.